This is THV 11 News at 6.
Nearly every county now under the first winter storm watch, well ahead of a Friday arrival. That's why our weather team has already issued a THV 11 weather impact alert to keep you informed. And it's the reason weather is our top story tonight. Hello and thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Brooke Buckner. For the latest forecast, we turn to the weather experts. Chief Meteorologist Tom Brannon and our entire weather impact team are working to keep you updated as things develop. What do we need to know, Tom?
Develop is one of the operative words. A storm system is expected to develop later in the week. It's only Tuesday. National Weather Service felt confident enough that this is going to be a high impact winter weather event that it did place most of the state under that winter storm watch. So we have the weather impact alert. We debuted it last night. Here's what's at stake. For the weekend, high impact winter storm is possible. All locations in Arkansas will be impacted with either a mixture of sleet, snow, or freezing rain, and there could be several inches of accumulation in some places. Hazardous travel expected, trees and power lines, freezing rain, crews on the trees and power lines, and that could be a problem. Protect your pipes, your pets, and check on those that are, needing some help in terms of keeping warm, because once the system departs, we're going to see much colder air. Here's what to expect today. This map shows who could get what, and mostly snow over the northern third. Mostly heavy snow with sleet possible over the central third of the state. Winter mix over the southern half of Arkansas with the possibility of an ice storm here over the southeast. This could all change. I expect more changes to our maps and graphics and models as we get closer to this event, as the system itself is still well out to sea. Outside temperatures 30s and 40s under clear skies. Clouds are going to increase and we will see a chance of rain tomorrow. Liquid variety. Need the rain. We'll get a little bit here Wednesday into Wednesday afternoon. Skies begin to clear out and then we begin to see clouds come back into play by the time we reach Thursday. Friday, the first day of our weather impact alert. We'll walk you through, again, precipitation types and timing in just a few minutes. Brooke?
Thanks, Tom. This winter weather could have a real impact on your home and your safety, so now is the time to get ready, and we're already seeing Arkansans preparing for winter's worst. Before temperatures crash, THV 11's Maya Ellison shows us the do's and don'ts to save your home.
Well, I'm just thinking about, man, I hope our pipes don't burst again.
Like Katie and Lane, that's the scenario many homeowners are worried about as temperatures drop below freezing. She says 2 years ago, her home faced every homeowner's nightmare.
Our pipes froze and I kept going down into the crawl space and I was checking everything to make sure nothing broke. And then I went to do laundry a day or two later and our laundry's disconnected from our house and that was frozen.
She says she thought she did everything right, but Mother Nature had other plans.
We forgot to drip the hot water and we only dripped the cold water because we didn't realize there was a difference.
It's pipe bursting season. This kind of kicks off the year every year.
Meet Josh Hazelwood of Hazelwood Plumbing & Co. Freezing temperatures are part of the job. Helping homeowners avoid the damage, that's the goal.
It's best to have, a professional check it out, do a layout of the home, go make sure everything's insulated.
Preparation, he says, comes down to 3 steps. Close foundation vents, insulate exposed pipes, and protect outdoor spigots.
What you do is you pull this out all the way to there, and that goes over where the water comes out, the spigot. So you put that right over there. Okay, you pull that out to where you got full leverage, and you push that all the way up.
Now inside the home, the most important rule is keeping faucets dripping.
My rule of thumb is not just a drip, a steady drip or almost a stream, but pretty steady.
And if pipes do freeze, Hazelwood says the first step is simple and critical.
Immediately go shut off the main water valve, open the faucets, let the ice melt out.
But that can be easier said than done. So he walked us through exactly what to look for and how to shut things down safely.
You remove the lid, and here's the key to turn it off. And make sure that hole lines up with that hole. And then your meter would stop spinning. And then you would call, a licensed professional to get out, locate the leak and repair it.
These tips, he says, could not only save you thousands, but also spare you the headache of winter weather. In Little Rock, Maya Ellison, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Maya. Here are 3 more things to know to safeguard your home from the cold. The Little Rock Fire Department reminds everyone to use heaters safely and test those smoke alarms. Also, only run generators outside, never in a garage or near your home. Head to thv11.com for even more potentially life-saving steps. And it's not just homeowners feeling the freeze. Local businesses are too. Lazy Pete's in Little Rock is back open for dinner tonight. This comes after frozen pipes forced the restaurant to temporarily close yesterday and even skipped lunch today. The owner says he's counting on social media savvy customers to make up for the lost revenue.
We will be busier than normal the next couple of days, and because our customers, watch our social media and stuff, and that helps. Other than that, it's just we got Lent coming. That's our busy time. Hope we have a good Lent.
The owner tells us he's working with his landlord to prep for this weekend's cold snap. Tonight, we're continuing to follow the case involving Aaron Spencer, the man running for Lonoke County Sheriff while also on trial for murdering the man who sexually abused his underage daughter. The case making national headlines, and Spencer's attorneys are asking the judge to recuse himself. THV11's Carter Thweet has the new filings and explains this big new development just days before jury selection is set to begin.
It's really an odd system where recusal motions are brought before the very judge who is asked to be recused, but that's our system.
Robert Steinbuck from the Bowen School of Law says that's what'll happen in this case. Judge Barbara Elmore will decide whether she should remove herself from the case of Aaron Spencer.
It usually doesn't take much time because, as we discussed, it's that trial judge who's making that initial call.
Attorneys for Spencer, who's on trial for second-degree murder, point out several reasons why they say Judge Elmore shouldn't handle this case. First, she imposed a gag order last year that the state Supreme Court rejected, and Spencer's attorneys say she's continued to try and hide the case from the public view. Second, Elmore presided over Michael Fossler's earlier sexual abuse case involving Spencer's underage daughter, the case that ended with Fossler released on bond and found with Spencer's daughter once again.
There is a question as to whether the judge's involvement in that prior case should result in her not being involved in this case.
The defense also challenges Elmore's recent order limiting the amount of people in the courtroom without considering other alternatives. The trial set for next Monday.
They've been before this judge for some time, so unless there's some new information that came out, it does seem a bit late to be making that motion.
In Lonoke County, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Carter, thank you. Spencer's attorneys could not appear on camera today, but provided a statement, which you can see on thv11.com. We reached out to Judge Elmore's office for comment and to ask whether potential inclement weather could affect the schedule. We have not yet heard back. New at 6, England high school classes locked down for nearly an hour today after a tip about a possible gun. Police and staff swept every locker and backpack. They never found a gun. Students finished out the school day. In a statement, Superintendent Dr. Judy Hubble says every precaution is still in place. Camden's only hospital is preparing to file for bankruptcy. That, according to Glenda Harper, CEO of Washita County Medical Center. Earlier this month, we reported the hospital closed its obstetrics unit to try and cut costs. Our partners at Arkansas Business report the hospital has about $8 million in debt. It's applied to become a rural emergency hospital, allowing it to focus on short-term admissions and emergency care in order to stay open. A new state law requiring the Little Rock School Board to downsize from 9 to 7 seats means every contested race counts. At 5, you met Zone 4 challenger Eugene Krupitsky. New at 6, incumbent Tony Rose tells THV11's Tanya Motorzitsky why he should keep his seat representing families in Midtown and West Little Rock.
With most of the Little Rock School Board races uncontested this year, Zone 4 is one exception. Incumbent Tony Rose shares his continued priorities for the district through its latest turning point. Top of his list, attracting families back as enrollment declines by pushing for better marketing.
We've hired a public relations firm. We're supposed to have a big plan coming up. The city is all behind that. We hired former mayor's chief of staff to facilitate some of that. We have yet to see boots on the ground. The board hasn't got back any of the results yet for this ongoing work, but I'm hopeful.
Rose says there's tremendous clutching of nickels and dimes as the district climbed out of a deficit and is now slightly above breaking even, yet tighter budgeting remains critical.
The goal is to have $15 million in the bank 2 years from now, and we're not going to make it, I don't think. But it's something to strive for. Goals are important. It fits our strategic plan. Things like Hall High, we have asked the state, and they're supposed to be approving it, to let us operate Hall as a conversion charter, which is a charter school run by the district rather than run by a private company or a public company. If we do that, then let's make some changes in the way we staff Hall and the way we deliver content to the kids. If we can't do that, if they deny us that permission, Hall will be in trouble. We can't operate Hall with 300 kids.
Empty campuses continue to drain the budget, and Rose warns there may come a time when hard decisions will be made.
Now, when we have a building standing empty and we don't have a program or anything in it, we're under some obligations to turn those buildings loose. Someone used to say when I was on the board before, we're not in the real estate business, but we are. We've got a tremendous amount of real estate, some of which is free, available.
If reelected, Rose will push for an emphasis on math.
I'm very keen to start an immersive mathematics program for kids in the 8th grade, start requiring every kid to take Algebra 1 in the 8th grade, and then proceed on with requiring multiple math classes when they finish high school. That way, every kid is ready for college.
In Little Rock, Tanya Motorzycki, THV 11 News.
Thanks, Tanya. The full interview is on THV11.com. Early voting is in less than a month on February 16th.
Well, like we mentioned before, a winter storm watch in effect Friday through Sunday, already issued by the National Weather Service. Coming back after the break, we'll break down the latest information.